guys. Tommy Lloyd has entered the room. It's like my favorite saying all week. What's up, guys? Let's knock this out.
What do you think has been the biggest issues that have come on the defensive end? You said you were wondering if someone had cracked the code a couple games ago.
I mean that's something you say in jest. I mean, like.
But is there something about what you're doing on defense that teams are starting to exploit?
Well, I mean, I think for one, we're playing good teams. I mean, I think our schedule's been, daunting. So I don't want to disrespect them. And, we're probably just, having a few too many breakdowns, a few too many, just executional breakdowns. The scheme is something we're always evaluating. And you got to be able to adjust in college basketball this time of year. And, that's what the really good teams do. And we've done it at times this year. And other times, we fell a little bit short. So, we're constantly evaluating it. I don't think there is a code or anything. I think it just comes down to, execution. And, I think there's another side of it too. Sometimes the other team just kind of makes the shot. And when you're scheming and putting together a defense, you don't feel like you can guard everything. And sometimes like, hey, we're willing to live with this. And there've probably been a few extra we'll live with this makes, that then just, kind of, let's say, above average. So is there going to be a regression to the mean? I hope a few of those shots miss.
Was that kind of the case with choosing not to double Dickinson and didn't want to leave that opportunity for the kick out?
I don't know. Who's to say we didn't say we wanted to double him and our guys didn't do it? There's a lot of things that go into that. It's not always a hard line choice, and he played good. And we know what he did a really good job of that game that he hasn't done every game. I think he made 5 or 6 perimeter shots, and he's a big-time player, and it was great. And then he did get to his left-hand hook a little bit too much, and, I think he opportunistically got a few, kind of rebound putbacks, and that adds up to a great night for a really good player.
Now about 5 games with Henry in the starting lineup. How do you feel about that? Do you feel that's what you want to do moving forward? Would you potentially move Trey back and put Henry?
I'm constantly evaluating everything, guys. Like, listen, you're deep into the year. We've tinkered probably more than we normally would have, and because I'm looking to push the right buttons. I think you're always analyzing. What can help us win this game? What can make us better? What's best for our team long term? And we'll continue. We're having conversations as a staff, but we haven't made any definitive decisions on what next game's going to look like. And I think everybody that's had an opportunity to start has had good moments. And everybody that's had an opportunity to start is an important part of our rotation. So it's not like I'm trying to cut a player out or or anything like that. So we'll continue to evaluate and we'll if we feel like something is the right move to make for a team, we'll make that move.
Does the scouting plan change with this extra round of games? Are you devising 3 scouts right now to figure out who potentially could be?
You're going to let it play out, and you're going to respect the competitive spirit of a conference tournament. And we know there's 3 potential teams we could play. And when it comes to that, I think the best thing you can do this time of year is kind of maybe take a breath, pull back, and kind of focus on yourself. Rather than try to put in 3 different scouts. Because tomorrow, or tonight, right? Tonight we're going to know it's going to be down to 2 teams. And then you can kind of drill down from there. And then from there, it's going to be, we're going to know who we're going to play, and it's going to be at 8:30 p.m. the next night. So we're going to have plenty of time to dial into, whoever we're going to play on Thursday.
So I think some fans took your comments different than some other fans about the atmosphere at Kansas. Were you challenging the Arizona fans?
Listen, it was something said in the moment, and here's the deal. Arizona is special. Everyone knows I love it here. So, let's not dig deeper and try to make something out of something very small. The atmosphere at Kansas, for those that were there, it's spectacular. And it's awesome. And I'm always looking for ways for our program to be better. And listen, Desiree and I are on the same page. We want to continue to make our game day experience better for our fans. And it's good already. It is good already. And it's been great some days. But is there another step? For sure. There's always another step. You're always looking to get better. And it's not an indictment on our fans. I love our fans. So, I wouldn't take it as anything other than, guys, Kansas was awesome that day. The atmosphere was above and beyond, and I've done this for 26 years. It's one of the coolest experiences I've ever had coaching. And usually, I'm pretty meh on any of those atmospheres. I'm like, I just want to play the game, and that's what I care about. I care about my team, the game, and and trying to be successful there. The extras, but their deal was really cool that day. And I think we have a chance. We're really close at Arizona. I think if we're intentional and we could find a way to take a few next steps, I think it'll be awesome for everybody. And I think our fans would love it even more. And it would enhance our program even more. So, like, I mean, my deal is, like, why don't we look at it as an opportunity to get better? I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
David asked about the lineup. Maybe would it take some pressure off Del Orso if he was coming off the bench? It worked well for KJ. He's playing well and brings a lot in. You might take the pressure off.
I mean, for sure. But guys, you're 30-some games into a season, and you just played at Kansas, who's a good team, one of the hardest places to play in the country. With 2 minutes to go, it's a 2-point game. So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's the starting lineup or maybe not. Maybe just down the stretch, find a way to not give him 2 offensive rebounds. So I think there's lots of ways you can look at it. And to me, I mean, we're kind of getting into the weeds on some of this stuff. And listen, it doesn't mean we don't have conversations behind the scenes, but I think there's more pressing issues, that will allow us to be successful than things like that.
What do you think has contributed to KJ struggling so much from the perimeter with his shot? Is the wrist?
I mean, yeah, his wrist was a legitimate injury. I think it's getting better now, and it's a little bit of it's just, I hope there's I think he's a better shooter than his numbers have shown. I think he's shown me that in practice and last year. And, you just hope, you hope you get a little bit of an uptick here down the stretch. And, but that being said, he impacts the games in a lot of ways. So we're gonna keep hanging with it.
About Trey's confidence in that game?
That was great. I mean, I thought Trey came up. Obviously, he made a few shots, shot the ball well. I just thought he was assertive, and I think, when he struggled at times this year, he's kind of been caught in between a little bit. And I think at Trey's size and at this level, I think you have to have a little bit of a go for it mentality, and I think at Kansas he went for it. And I was talking to the staff and we were talking. Trey's a guy who, over the course of his career has played big in big games. So, like, I'm always going to give him an opportunity in those games, and I thought he was great. And I thought he was a real difference maker for us, in the second half of that game especially.
Getting back to the defensive side, there's only been 9 turnovers for us the last 2 games. I know you had commented about the ASU game. There just weren't a lot in that game, but are your guys not taking the same chances maybe they were defensively?
I mean, potentially, I think we could be a little scrappier, a little bit more aggressive, A lot of times, you look over the course of a season, turnovers will start to dwindle a little bit as offenses maybe get a little more secure with the ball or maybe a little bit more conservative. And, no, there's no doubt. I mean, we would love to, create a few more turnovers because for us, that, kind of maybe kickstart some of our transition stuff. And, in order to do that, you got to be opportunistic, you got to be aggressive, but you also have to have a level of discipline about you. You can't just be out there running around like crazy because, teams are well schooled by this time of year.
And on that same note, I think the second foul that Henry got in this last game was an attempt to try to get a steal by poking from behind. Yeah. Is it a matter of being smart with the attempts?
I mean, I thought that was clean. I thought that was a great play. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, do it again. Maybe they call that 1 out of 10 times. I thought that was a pretty smart play on his part.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
All right, guys. Appreciate you guys.